Hello, my name is Christy, for those of you who've never watched my channel, and today I'm going to talk to you about whether or not college is the right fit for you. So a little backstory, I have a ton of degrees. I've been in school forever. I actually enjoy college. I like to learn. I have lots of classes. I have hundreds of hours of undergraduate coursework and 30-40 hours of graduate coursework. A little bit about myself. I am a first-generation college student. I have
an associate's degree in social science. I have a bachelor's degree in political science. Both those are from Ohio University. I have an anthropology degree from Washington University, where I minored in political science, Japanese, history. I have a certificate in Asian studies, and I minored in biology.
It is a whole lot. But the second degree, the reason I went back was because with the first degree, I was going to go to law school, and I realized when I was taking my LSAT, so the test to get into law school, that I hated it. I didn't like it at all. And I just came back from my final senior year of college. I spent the year studying in Japan, so I actually spent a year studying abroad in Japan, where I took classes on kind of like international relations. I took Japanese, and then when I came back to the United States, I enrolled in Marshall, where I took more Japanese. I'm only 3 classes away from a degree in Japanese. Hi, Annabelle. Can I help you? Yeah. But anyways, I realized that I didn't really enjoy that field, so I wasted pretty much 4 years of my life getting that degree. I wouldn't say that I regret it. I regret the bills, which I'll talk about later. I'll talk about some student loans. So I decided to go back to school and I started off in forensic chemistry. I wanted to do medical examiner, and then realized I wasn't interested in that. That's not really what I wanted to do. And then I found anthropology. So I really like science, and I like understanding how people interact together. And I really love learning about other cultures and trying new things and traveling and seeing things. Can't do it all the time because I'm a broke college professor, but you know, it's still fun to learn about. So after I graduated with my bachelor's in anthropology, I realized I couldn't get into any PhD programs, which I will discuss why with you later. And then I finally got into a graduate program, a master's of biology, biological sciences, where I worked with technically 3 fantastic instructors. So my 2 advisors and then another professor was on my committee, and I realized, oh my god, I love this. One was a paleontologist, one was a paleoanthropologist, and one she's this crazy mix, like a mammologist meets a anthropologist meets a paleontologist, all smooshed together. And they're just fantastic people. And so I got my master's in biological sciences. Here I am today. I really would like to go and get my PhD, but one thing you learn, student loans. Student loans are not so terrifying when you're a first-generation college student and you're working 3 or 4 jobs and you still can't afford to pay your rent or buy food or any of that. So the student loans are kind of like, they pay your tuition, but then they also feed you for half of a year, you know, for a semester. You can live off that money to help pay your rent, help buy groceries, and all that lovely stuff. So a take-home message from my insane history is, when you go in, it's okay to go into college not knowing what you want to do with your life. But it's not okay to go in not liking anything that you're doing. So if you choose your major just based off of how much money you're going to make when you graduate, that doesn't fulfill an individual. You know, you're going to hate every single class you take, which is going to be reflected in your grades, and your grades are going to suck. And then maybe you can't go to that graduate program, or maybe you can't get into that professional school. So that's going to affect you down the line. So if you don't know if college is right for you, a question you need to ask yourself is, I had a student in human bio this past semester who's just a very sweet girl, And she came to my office one day to ask questions about the test. And I'm like, well, what's your major? And she's like, I'm undeclared. And I said, well, what do you like? And she's like, nothing. What do you want to do? I don't know. To me, that's kind of like, should you be in college? I mean, she's smart. I'm not saying if you're not smart, don't go to college. But if you don't enjoy any of the classes, you don't enjoy any of the majors, you don't enjoy any of the fields of work, maybe it's not right for you. Not everyone should go to college just because they can't do what fulfills them when they're done. And then they're stuck with all this debt and all this time wasted where they could have spent time doing something that they enjoy. So I say when you go in, at least enjoy some of it. If you're not enjoying any of it, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your instructor's times, and it's just a bad, negative environment. Okay, so the next thing, majors. One thing you need to know when you go in is, do I need to prepare to go on to graduate school? Can I get a job with this degree when I graduate? So a lot of people come in and say, oh, I like English. I'm going to major in English and be a writer. Okay, well, most people with English degrees go on and get a master's or a PhD in English before they can find a job that will hire them. So you need to be prepared to what steps you need to take to get to where you want to go. Since I'm in the sciences, most of the students that come in want to go to professional school. They come in, they know they need this science bachelor's degree to take them to a master's, a PhD, or to a professional school. So professional schools would be med schools, pharmacy schools, OT, PT, PA, chiropractic, dentistry. So any of those programs require some sort of, not necessarily a science degree, but they prefer it. You can actually get any degree as long as you have the prereqs in the science fields that you need to get into the programs, which it's easier getting a science degree. It could be any science degree, so whatever you enjoy. If you like biology, do biology. If you like biochem, do biochem. If you like forensics, do forensics. So it's whatever degree can get you to that next stage that you need to go into. So you need to be aware of that going in, whether or not your undergraduate degree will prepare you for what you want to do when you graduate. So my bachelor's in political science, I'm not going to be able to get a job with that. I'm going to have to go on to law school or a PhD or a master's program in political science. I didn't like it, so I didn't. I went and got another degree, which also required, so the anthropology degree also requires that you go on and get a master's or a PhD, a doctorate in that field, or another field, whatever you like. So those are things to keep in mind when you're going into school and you have a major, what you can do with it when you graduate. Obviously there will be outliers that can do whatever, get whatever job with a bachelor's or certificate. So be aware that those do happen, but you should prepare for, let's see, the best way, not to be so lucky, because I am unlucky, so I understand these things going in. Another thing to keep in mind, if you want a certificate, don't feel bad that you want to go and get a certificate, like a nursing certificate, like the ASN, I think it's Associate of Science of Nursing. You can get a job, registered nurse. You could be, I don't know if they're the same. Anyways, you can still get a job doing things that you like. I know vet tech, you want to work with animals, vet tech license. You can go work in veterinarian offices. You're not going to veterinarian school, but you can still, help around and do small things with animals if that's what you enjoy. So really, if you want to be a mortician, that's an associate's, that's a 2-year degree. So you can immediately open up a funeral home or go work for a funeral home. So it really depends on what you like to what you're going to do. Okay, so don't just go somewhere because of the name of the school. Don't go somewhere because it's a private, expensive school. Don't go do something because you're going to be rich when you graduate. That's not the way it works. So you need to do something you enjoy. Go to a school that's reasonably priced that can get you where you want to go. Because leading up to my third thing, student loans. Da-da-da-da. Student loans suck. lot of grants and scholarships available. So if you're a high school student, make sure you look online and apply for those, because those are so easy to get. There are so many people don't try to get them that there's a high probability that you will get a grant or a scholarship to pay for a year or a couple books or something when you go to college. College is so expensive. So some things to keep in mind. Make sure you know how much your school costs before you go into school. I know loans are so easy to obtain and make life so much easier, but then when you graduate, you don't know if you're going to get a job, you don't know if you're going to be able to pay this off, you don't know what your monthly payments are going to be. I have a job, I have a good job, I make really decent money. Really decent money. I make median income amounts of money so I can survive. And my boyfriend has a job where he makes decent money, so together we can pay our bills. We can pay for our student loans, which is kind of sad. I think monthly we spend about $1,000 a month just on student loan bills. So yeah, and then they're not going away anytime soon. So if you can avoid it, please avoid taking out loans. Get grants, scholarships. Go to a cheaper institution where you can get the degree you want without taking out loans. So I can tell you, I have 2 student loans. I paid off 1 loan. Yay! The one thing I do regret would be the large chunk of student loans I took out. So if you can avoid it, please avoid it. It will be hard. Textbooks are so expensive, but they're free online. You can find them for free. So just look around and see what you can do to help minimize your expenses, because you don't want to be like me. I still need to go get a PhD to be at the highest level of my scientific ability. Anyways, so another thing going into college that you need to know is how to study. A lot of students coming in, and I'm not talking about young students, older students tend to do a little better. I've had a lot of non-traditional students, and they're really fantastic. They know how to buckle down and spend time with material. The younger students coming in don't understand how to study. So looking over something, highlighting, that's not studying. So please make sure when you come into college, you're gonna, not everyone, be prepared. If you don't spend time, they're not afraid to fail you. Your professors will fail you. They don't care. They just, excuse me. They just, if you can't do the rigor that they expect of you, they're not going to lower their standards. So you should be prepared to figure out or seek assistance from your professors. Spend time with your peers. Figure out how to actually study and spend time with material, because it's going to be harder than high school. So just be prepared for that. And if you have questions, please feel free to leave some in the comments. I can do a video on how to study. I actually figured out how to study in grad school, if that says anything at all. I came from a very small rural high school where there was only 86 of us that graduated. I think I took a poll. There's only 3 of us, 2 or 3 of us that actually went on past a bachelor's degree to get a higher degree. So I know I think maybe a 4th of us went to college to get a bachelor's. So most of us were ill-prepared going in. Managed to scrape by. You figure it out. But studying that you think you're studying going in is not the same as when you're coming out. So keep that in mind. You're going to get F's. Don't let it bother you. I got F's. Don't cheat. Don't be a cunt. Just, accept it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I sent a solicitation on Facebook wondering if anyone had questions, and they've had questions, so I'll pop them up in a corner or do something with them somewhere, so you can see they're real questions. I'm not just making up. Okay, so some of the questions I have are from my previous students, Okay, so first question. How do you start your search for grad schools? What makes a good program, or what makes a program a good fit? Okay, so a lot of you, after you get your bachelor's degree, want to go on to graduate school. So finding graduate schools is very challenging. So he wants to know how to start your search. You need to start your search your junior year because you need to take the GRE, which is a graduate proficiency exam, and you need to have those scores and everything in before that coming fall, because a lot of applications are due in December. So December of your senior year, those applications are going to be due. So how you find a good graduate program is Google. Hey, Google. Not all the answers at Google, but Google can help you. Google in, I don't know, we'll use biology PhD programs. So you're going to get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of programs. So if you want to spend time going through all that, you can, but it's actually a lot easier if, you ask your professors. So in your field, you ask professors in your field or some of your favorite professors that aren't in your major. So say you ask your advisor, where did you go to school? Did you enjoy it? They can say, oh, I went here, my buddy went here, and they can give you some ideas. This place has this type of program, this place does this, they're really known for this place is renowned for this. Another thing you could do is, if you know what kind of research you want to do. So mostly science people, you're going to do undergraduate research. I love undergraduate research. So if you have questions about undergraduate research, please let me know. Anyways, so when you're doing undergraduate research, you're going to have to find literature. So in the literature, so if some of your favorite research articles or some of the most relevant or the ones that you really enjoy, you can actually figure out where those authors are. So say if one's in Arizona State, so you can see that they're there and you can actually reach out and contact them and ask them about their program and see if it's a good fit for what you want to do and what direction you want to go in life. So that's how to find schools you're interested in. But most grad programs, you will go where it's a good fit for you and the advisor. So you would reach out to some faculty that do research or do things that you're interested in doing. So if you are interested in evolution, you would reach out to some of the evolutionary faculty members that do things that you like. If you like, I don't know, mitochondrial evolution, if you like embryology, if you like, I don't know, media, journalism, statistics, anything. And you just go through the list and they'll have all their pictures. So it'll have all the faculty's pictures. I'll try to find an example and post it. It'll find all of the faculty's pictures and it'll have their name, their phone numbers, their interests. So you read their interests, and if any of them are something you would be willing to do, email them. Say, hey, I'm a junior or senior, blah, 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 major, and I'm really interested in doing this type of research as well. Do you have any positions in your lab? Do you have any advice for me? I'm looking for graduate schools. And most of the time, unless they're completely overwhelmed with course load, they'll respond and say, yeah, give me a call. We can discuss what I'm doing here. We can discuss what my friend's doing there. I can help you get a hold of so-and-so. So they're very helpful. They're not evil dinosaur monsters that will eat your soul. They actually want to help you succeed, even if they don't even know you. Give them a call. I know, that's weird, right? Call them on the telephone, and they will talk to you and tell you people that they know and what they're doing and who's doing what. You know, if this isn't a good fit for you, maybe they'll know someone else that you could talk to in their department. So there's a lot of, academic community is very intertangled, and they're not afraid to oh, well, I'm in forensic science. Let me call my buddy down in criminal justice who's actually doing what you want to do and see if we could work something out, to get you into both fields or whatever. So usually people are pretty lenient, unless they're very arrogant douchebags. Then, you don't really want to work with them anyway, do you? So what makes a program a good fit? I feel like in grad school I had a very good fit. My 2 advisors. One of my advisors left to take a job closer to family, and then another advisor adopted me. So my 2 advisors, I actually got along with really well. I was really interested in what they were doing research-wise and things that they published and how they did what they did and where they came from, what they did. So what they do, I felt very comfortable around them. I felt like I could learn a lot from them. So those are the things that you really want to look for in graduate programs. You want to make sure that you not only feel comfortable in the situation, you want to make sure you're not with some douchebag, you know. You want to feel comfortable around your advisors or your PIs, primary investigators. You want to feel like they treat you well. You want to feel like they're proud of what you're doing, that what you want and what they want kind of overarch. They kind of go together, so you are in the same direction. You want to make sure that they want you to succeed. That's the biggest thing. You want a PI or an advisor that wants you to succeed. Then it will be a good fit. Just because they're doing something you like, if you come in and they don't think you're good enough or they don't really care that you're there, you're not going to succeed, and that is not a good fit. So I hope I answered that question. All right. Next question. Why do we put ourselves through this torture, and how do we survive? I still cannot find these answers as I am living it. Oh. She's in PT school. Honey. Okay, so for how to survive, the best thing is, it is good to be serious, but at the same time, it's good to not give a fuck. You just gotta chill sometimes. Yeah, I know it's very strenuous. You need to keep that 3.2, I believe, in PT school. You need to pass all your classes. You can't get any C's, which is very stressful. But if you let that stress get to you, it will eat you alive. You need to be serious about your studies. You need to go to class. You need to take good notes. You need to ask questions. You need to study. But at the same time, you can't let it engulf you as a person. So if you have anxiety and stress, then you need to find something you can do that can relax you. So, put together a puzzle, do a coloring book. I don't know, watch me on YouTube. I don't know, watch something that you enjoy. Take a break. Don't let it get inside you and destroy you. So, take a break, do something nice for yourself. Don't turn to, I know a lot of people in med school will either become alcoholics to help them get through it, or they'll start taking Ritalin or Adderall to stay up to study. No, it's stupid. Don't do that. And then you're part of the problem. So what you should do is, study, have fun. You need to calm down. Go get a massage, do something good for your mental health. Then you can come back into your studies with a clear, fresh mind. I know it actually sounds very challenging when you're in these situations, but just stop. Take a break. Go pet your dog. Go roll around on the floor. Do something to relax. So sometimes it's good to care, but sometimes it's good to not give a shit. And I had a nice balance in grad school. You could go in and be like, whatever, I don't fucking care. Or you'll go in and be like, oh God, this is the most stressful thing I've ever done. Either way, if you can get out alive, that's all that really matters. All right. Third question. How can students get a publication? If this is a goal for the said student, what advice do you have in getting there? Okay, so for people that don't know, the academic fields, you're required to do research and publish and get grants and all this other stuff on top of teaching. So publishing is kind of like the biggest thing. It's like I've had 2 things published, and it's so challenging. I try to do one thing a year, so try to get one thing published every year. So most recently, I just had something published August, September. first author, woo, it took forever. So this was my master's research from 2015, and it is 2018. I had to check because, you know, sometimes we just lose our minds. It took that long to get something published. There's so much red tape. There's so many people that you have to please or displease, and you have these jerks that everybody liked your article except this one fucking asshole. He's like, I don't like any of this. And you get a revise and resubmit to like the #1 journal in your field. You're like, yay! And this one cunt is like, you did everything I asked, but now there's all these other things I don't like, so no. When everyone else is like, yes, they did what I asked, this is good to go. Oh, you motherfuckers! Anyways, so if you're an undergraduate and you want to publish, there are, just type into Google undergraduate research journals. There are a couple of them out there that will specifically publish undergraduate research. So it needs to be well written, so it would be ideal to ask maybe your advisor or your research supervisor if you work in someone's lab to read it before you submit it, because their names are going to be on it. So that would be my biggest thing if you're an undergraduate. If you are a graduate or in a professional program, you really just kind of think of your keywords, so what your research is about, and then find journals specific to that niche. Excuse me, I'm dying. I don't know, I'm hiccuping. It's all this chocolate from Christmas. Anyways, so mine is about 3D scanning. So I hit up the #1 journal, the American Journal for Physical Anthropology. I've done an science education journal. I sent it to an archaeology journal. And then I finally found a fit, which was a museum journal, because it was about conservation and how this technology helped us conserve the specific thing that I was scanning. So they thought it was different but a good fit. So it was relevant and people would enjoy it. So the thing you want to do is find a journal that your article would fit into. So depending on what it's about, there are hundreds of journals. The second thing, when you find a journal, see how much it costs to publish it. Because you have to pay to publish. A lot of people don't know that either. I can go on for days about this. If it is open access, you have to pay. And it's $1,500 to $3,000, sometimes even more. You have to pay to publish your material in their journal. So if it is not open access, then it's usually free. So some places will have that option. So if you can't afford it, then you do the non-open access one and it's free. So you want to do that. Read through the author guidelines just to make sure that your research fits into the categories that are there. And then submit, cross your fingers, and you're going to wait and wait and wait until they either reject you or accept you. And either way, you'll still get feedback. So if they reject you, you're going to get feedback from the blind review that says, make these changes, it'll make the article stronger. And do that. And if you feel comfortable, resubmit it there. Or if you're like, screw you guys, I'm going somewhere else, go to another journal and submit it there. And then do it again. And wait and wait and wait. And wait and wait and wait. Either get your acceptance or rejection. But be prepared to get 10 rejections for every one accept. And it's painful. And it's depressing. And it's really sad when it happens. But that's just the way it is. You're going to get 10 to 15 to 20 rejections before you get one person or one journal that will accept it. So don't let that get you down. Just keep going. Keep working. Okay, I believe I've answered the whole three questions that I had. So if you have any questions about college or how to go about colleging or grad school, professional school, or anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments and I will try to answer you there. Or if enough of you have the same questions, then I can make another video. Alright, anyway, so yeah, if you have questions, throw them in the comments. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, please like this video. Leave a comment if you have questions or anything like that. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do some different things here and there. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.